Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
That didn't happen.
How are you guys? We missed you. I mean, it's gonna be the same for you, but for us, it was like almost a week.
It's been a while.
Yes, we're so excited. I'm Michelle.
I'm Joanna.
And welcome to the Underqualified podcast.
Okay, so exciting news first. We have reached 60 subscribers!
For us, it means a lot. Maybe for you guys, 60 people is not a lot, pero
It's the world!
it's super cute. Thank you so much to everyone that is following us on our Instagram, TikTok, but especially YouTube and Spotify. We are super excited. That means that you're liking our stuff.
Which is weird. I would have never thought, but at the same time, I'm so glad that people are resonating with us. It was like the biggest thing for me. Like I was like, is it gonna translate to you guys? But I guess it is.
Ay, voy a llorar. I'm very sentimental and I'm cruda. But no, but it means a lot because a lot of people are coming to us telling us how much they like the podcast.
So
that
real.
like they resonate with our stuff, that they like our stories, so that means the world to us.
Yeah.
I love the underqualified
podcast. Not you.
But yeah, you guys, but Yoli, how are you?
I am fresh today.
I'm like fresh.
I got the beat done for you guys. So I was like, I have a little bit of time, so I'm like, but I'm good. I'm fresh. I had a weekend that's all about me and my friends, and I haven't had a weekend like that in a while, so I feel like I'm catching up with my old self. So I'm really happy.
You were preparing for this episode.
I was. How are you, Mitch?
I'm super hangover, pero the show must continue. And no, this really woke me up. Like, really, because I was, like, really bad. Anyways, but besides that, I've been great. I went to a wedding yesterday. It was so much funsies. And work has been good. Everything has been really good. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, Joali, today's episode is going to be hot. Intense. We're not going to say names, but today's episode is
friendship breakups and betrayals.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is something that not a lot of people talk about.
Yes.
I mean, we have been requesting a little bit of advice as to like what you guys want to hear. And I thought it was super cool when you guys said friendship breakups, because specifically female friendship breakups are so hard just because nobody teaches you about it.
Nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
They tell you about your like romantic relationship breakups, but nobody really tells you how to handle a friendship breakup.
I think it's gonna be a fun topic.
So. It is, cause like we were talking about it when we were talking about the topic. We were like, I was telling you, like, there's not actually many movies that they show you about like friendship breakups.
Hard. I mean, there's not a lot of representation out there, and I feel like female friendships is one of the big.
Not sponsored,
so we're not showing the logos. But as if we're famous already. I'm claiming. But yeah, like we were saying, it's a very taboo thing, and not a lot of movies show us. Everything's all rom-coms about female, like not female friendships. It's all about relationships. So, and I think female friendship, it's such a huge relationship. Having friendships is a relationship. So
and it's also super hard.
It
like
is.
I feel that nowadays I find myself like struggling having more friends, but I do think that it's quality over quantity.
Exactly.
For sure.
Always.
I want to know about your first friendship breakup. We're not gonna say any names, because we want to respect the other people.
Yeah,
but
no,
if you know us, you probably know who they are. But we're saying these stories from the bottom of our heart, and we don't mean anything bad. Or
yeah,
nothing.
no, exactly. I mean, my experience with like my biggest heartache was one of my biggest friendship breakups ever. It marked me for life, and it still marks me today. I think it's something.
Still haunts you.
It still haunts me, exactly. Like I think it's something that is constantly not living 24/7 in my brain, but whenever I'm building out a friendship, there's something that just kind of I'm like trying to connect the dots, and it made a limit in my life.
Yes.
I think that's how I've been navigating these friendships. So I used to have a friend that her and I, we were literally like sisters. We had spent majority of our lives, like as soon as we connected in middle school together, we had each other's back. Like there was no other way. She was my ride or die, and that was one thing. She was like my one pillar in my life. So it was in a time where I had a lot of male friendships and I only have one female friendship, and I just kind of stuck with her because we used to go through a little bit of bullies like in middle school. So once we hit high school, I remember we were like kind of growing in separate directions. Like she was having different friends, and I was also building on my friendships. So, but there was a moment where sadly, it hits all of us en los pinches huevos, which is men. And it's so hard, and I hate to say it, but this friendship did go down because of a fucking man. It sunk ship.
Those are the worst ones when it happens because of a man.
It was horrible. Yeah. And what had happened was I was starting to have a crush on this one guy. And I didn't tell her. And she was also talking to the same guy.
Shit.
So she was talking to the guy that I had a crush on. But that's the thing. In high school, we don't have the same classes together. Nothing.
But you never talked about it?
We just never talked about it. It was super weird because we had always literally gone through everything together.
Tell each other everything.
Like, we hadn't communicated this feeling for some reason, and he was in a private school. Okay. So he
was he even good looking?
Not right now. Sadly, not right now. He's just
but
tall.
at that time.
At that time, I thought he was beautiful. Okay. I really did. I was like, oh my god, I was in over my head. He was from a big city. He was from Mexico City. So I was like,
mexicanito, de
escuela privada. Like, I was
a white dude. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was white chicken. Exactly. So, like, pretty much we ended up, all of us going to this, like, one big party, which I don't even know how this came about, but we ended up at the biggest house party that I've ever been. Like, I kind of had developed this crush on this guy that I had never spoken to, so I made it my mission to talk to him at the party.
Of course.
And pretty much, I don't even know how I found him. That is the most random part.
Wait, he wasn't in your high school?
He wasn't in my high school.
Oh, okay,
He was in a completely private high school. I was in a public. Anyways, all this information is all murky. But pretty much, I made it my mission. We went to this party. And I remember all of my guy friends from middle school, they were all there. I had arrived without her. We went separately. She went with another one of her, like, really good friends, who is also a really good friend of mine today.
Oh.
Like, we're like besties. So it was kind of weird because out of nowhere, like, she came up to me and she said that she had kissed this one guy. And it was my crush. And I was like, what? And, like, I was just kind of like, it's not that deep, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, she didn't know. That was the thing. She didn't know. So it was so hard because I was just like, what? And then I was like, I don't think it's that deep because I remember she was in a time where she wanted to, like, hang out with other people, experiment a little bit. I was completely the opposite. I was being a little bit more, like, picky as to what I wanted to do. And I was just like, I don't think it's that deep. I think she was just, like, a random kiss at a party. So I was like, it's okay, whatever. So I ended up actually talking to him.
At the party.
He was fucked up. Like, he was fucked up. Like, he couldn't even, like,
talk.
No, see,
Uh-huh.
like, I remember, like, there was this big pool, and he was next to the pool, like, in a lounge chair, and he was just like, he was a mess.
Ew.
I thought it was charming.
Ew!
For some
Quiero ser
reason.
princesa! Ew.
Exactly. I was at a point in my life where I thought I would fix people.
Ew.
And
Dale.
sadly, like, I was like, I'm gonna take care of him, and, like, I ended up...
Ay, mi amorcito, what do you want? Like a beer or something?
Never, ladies. Never take care of a man that doesn't know how to take care of himself.
Exactly.
The police got there. I got kicked out. I went in the pool at one point with my dress on. I didn't care. And I was just like...
Because you were like, I see.
I'm having the time of my life. And, like, it was honestly a huge ass house. Like, it was the biggest house party. Like, it was like a huge patio. Like, it was a mansion. It was literally a mansion because it was of a kid who was in a private school.
Okay.
Because all of our common friends, they were all in private schools.
Okay.
So it was like a country club. Like, it was like super.
Okay,
yeah.
I get you.
So pretty much that happened, and then afterwards, I found out that she was talking to him. Like, no, like afterwards, like, it was just super weird because she started actually, like, talking to him and actually liking him. And I was, since I had known about this information of, like, him, like, kissing her or whatever, I was just kind of like, okay, no, like, I don't think it's gonna be that deep. So I started texting him, but he didn't like me. He liked my friend. Yeah, he didn't like me. Like, I can totally
But
admit
you
that.
did it not to be like me?
No.
Just because.
Just because I was just like, you know what? Like, I have this really good feeling about this man. Joke. I was a joke of a woman. I was a little girl. And I was just like, I literally texted him, like, oh, like, I was the one who saved you, blah, 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 like, all this stuff. He was going with it for a second. And then I just started to realize that, like, it wasn't, like, it was super one-sided. It was super one-sided from my part.
That you were pushing it.
Yeah. And I kept, and I did this a couple of times with, that's why some of my relationships or situationships or whatever never really worked out. Because I'm a very intense person. I used to search for people that needed a little bit of help, and I was like, oh my God.
I love to fix people.
I love you. Yeah, exactly. So pretty much we ended up having a fight over this man, which was totally not worth it. Like, I remember.
But how did she realize that you were texting him? Or did she realize? Or
I think we just, like, crossed at one point, and, like, I was just like, hey, like, I texted her because she was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm talking to him. And I was like, what do you mean you're talking to him? Like, and then she was like, yeah, like, I'm talking to him, like, I really like him, and he really likes me. And I was just like, oh. It was total miscommunication. Because I was avoiding the communication. And I was doing that on my side. You get what I mean? Because I was a little bit, like, insecure of, like, in the sense of, like, no, it's gonna literally break my fantasy that he does not like me. And he didn't like me. Like, and sadly, like, what went down was that was the hard part. I didn't know how to navigate this situation that made me uncomfortable. So we just kind of pushed each other away from our lives. Like, I crumbled it was probably like years of this friendship that we had, because we ended up, like, basically, like, putting this man in between. And it was just kind of like, it's him or me. And it was so hard because it's like, that should have never even happened.
But you had the talk, like, me or him? Or
no, it just happened. It just kind of felt that way.
That's the thing, let me tell you, with female friendships, that it's usually about our pride. I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But it's usually never like a fight or anything.
Exactly.
It's just like it dissolves.
Yeah.
It dissolves. So I think that's the hardest part. Because maybe when you do have a fight, you have closure.
Exactly. This part was no closure. Like, it was just kind of like a feeling from both of us. And we were like, you know what? I think we are just in different spaces. And we broke up. Sadly, we had that breakup, and it's still, it does affect me until today because I don't want to make the same mistakes that I did, like handling any type of friendship the same way that I did with that relationship.
So you're more careful.
Yeah, exactly. And years later, we had like a little bit of like we ended up at this one party one time, and she was there, and we got super drunk
at the mansion. Full circle moment.
No, just kidding, just kidding. No, this was way later, like years later. I think I was already about to finish high school, and obviously we hadn't spoken in years. Like we hadn't crossed paths. She went on like a completely different thing. I started gaining all my friends. It was just like completely different lives, and pretty much from there, like we had like kind of like a heart to heart, and we were like really drunk. And we spoke about it, and we just kind of hashed it out, and we were like, okay, this is great. Yeah. But it was never the same.
It is never the same. Never. Yeah. Never. Even though you talk about it so hard, it's never the same. So mine, I did the math. It was a breakup from a friendship that I had for 12 years.
Ooh, yes. That's even worse.
Yes. So I met this person because she had an older sister and I had my older sister. Yeah. So they were friends. And then suddenly it was like the three of us. It was like another guy, me and her. So we were we were like this. And she lived like not so far, like 3 minutes away from my house. So we'll see each other. Yeah, we'll see each other like almost every Friday and every day at school because we were in the same school. This all started. I don't even remember when we like the specific day that we met. Porque like I said, like I met her through her sister, and we just clicked. Like she became she was my second friend like ever. Cause I had another friend since kindergarten, and then she became part of like that trio as well. So she was always there. Like if I had another friend, she will be part of that trio or like that. She was always there. I don't know how to explain it, but she was
in every single friendship of your life. She was
Exacto. Okay. She was always there. Middle school happened. We were like apart on different classrooms. We will still talked. Like
you were good with keeping up with each other, basically.
Exactly. O sea, it wasn't like a big, ¿cómo se dice? Like, que le tienes que poner mucho...
Yeah, it was like low maintenance.
Low maintenance friendship. Sí. Entonces, my mom would be like, hey, how's she doing? I'm like, I don't know, but I know she's good. And then I would text her like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Like, we lived through everything. Like, her parents loved me. My mom loved her. Like, my sister loved her. We were like inseparables. So... we moved to high school, and then things started to get a little bit shaky. Not because we were fighting or anything. It was just like we're starting to grow apart. Yes.
Yeah.
But we never realized that, like, because we were, like, in our first year of high school, and we were having a lot of fancies. And then I started having, like, other friends, and she started having different friends. Which it was okay, because, like, all those years, it was like that. Yeah, we were in the same classroom, etc., etc. So, there was this girl that came to the school. She never gave me, like, good vibes. She was a very mean person. She was, like, not even mean. She was, like, a diva.
Okay.
And, like, if she liked you, you will be, like, popular, I would say. And, like, I never... really clicked with her. Like she had some beef because we dated the same person, and then she would start talking bad about me. So I was like,
I hate those people.
Oh, you need to conozco, girly pop.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this friend, she used to talk with her. And I'll be like, I know, o sea, don't talk to her. She's kind of like weird. And then she became part of that friend group.
Oh, that sucks.
And then I was like, okay, that's okay. Like, she's still the same person. Like, nothing's gonna change. But somehow she started becoming a little bit like them. So there was this thing, like I said, my best friend at the time, she was telling me, oye, no hables con ella, because she's talking bad things about you. And I was like, what did she say? Like, is there something? First of all, she didn't tell me that she said it. She just told me, like, there's, like, a rumor going around that people are saying that you're you're lesbian.
That's crazy word.
When I say it out loud, it sounds so dumb.
It's so stupid. It's so high school.
So high school. So I was like, I remember I didn't know if I wanted to cry or laugh. I was like, dude, I don't even live in Juárez anymore. Why are they talking about me? ¿Por qué estoy en la boca de otras personas that I don't even talk to them anymore?
Rent free.
So I was like, okay, do you know who said that? And she was like, I don't want to break your heart. And I was like, are you talking about da da da? And then she was like, yeah, she's the one that started the rumor. I don't know if her mom or like that friend group started the rumor. But she was like, see, because like they say that you don't have a boyfriend for so long and you're always posting pictures with girls.
Wait, no, God forbid a girl has female friendships. God forbid.
So, yeah, that was the
crazy.
thing. And that kind of helped me back up being so open with her again.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it never completely, like, closed the circle. But when she told me that, I was like, okay, I tried my best. I did what I could to save this friendship. And like I said, no hard feelings. I could be a lesbian if I want to. I mean, there's no problem with that. I love Renee Rapp. Pero, like, talking about that, it's a very rancho thing to talk about someone.
Respectfully, chinga tu puta madre.
No. I'll be respectful, and just like if you had a friendship breakup, the only thing that you can do to navigate, just being respectful, and that's it.
Yeah,
you are gonna win.
Plus, it's not your business what other people think about you. None of your business. So, whatever the heck she was saying, get a life. Hopefully you found God, because clearly they wanted to find God at one point in their lives. So go talk to Jesus Christ.
Girl, shut up. And what if I become lesbian? I do become a lesbian at the end.
You're like, our next video, my coming out. But we love the gays. We love the gays, guys. Don't worry.
You know, all serious on the thumbnail. Those are breakups. Now we're going to the spicy ones. We are going to talk about betrayals.
Yeah, no, betrayals are hard, dude.
And they're like, I would say like at this point,
unnecessary.
I laugh. Like, yes, it's so fucking funny.
Yes. Oh my god. So, I told you guys, I keep telling y'all, we are hardcore like lovers. I am a Scorpio, so it's like double Scorpio. So I'm like literally my whole entire, like, if I love you with my entire being, and I will never put it past you that you would do anything bad to me until it happens and it bites me in the goddamn ass. I put people in pedestals.
This was after that.
This was after this other girl. Yeah, so that is one lesson that I think kind of reinforced what I do now, which is I love to love so hardcore, and I love to keep my female friendships like as family for sure. But I just don't rely on that one person.
Exacto. Porque not even like with friendships only, but in general, in life, you shouldn't rely on a person.
Yeah, exactly. Like it like I've learned to become whole. Like just within my own self.
And those are like just your attachments.
Exactly.
Extra parts.
Yeah, exactly. And she became this one source that I was healing with the other. Okay. So it was like still...
El clavo que estaba sacando el otro clavo.
Exactly. Like, sadly, I don't want to say it like that way because like our friendship meant so much. It was super true. But at the same time, I was kind of repeating patterns because I was literally like leeching onto her. Like, oh yeah, she is my friend now. I had other friends, but it wasn't as hardcore as it was with her. So this is why I'm going to tell you guys. So pretty much this other girl, I was hanging on to her. And once again, I put a man in the middle. This is what sucks. Yeah. So this is the worst part. The sequence of events, she used to have this crush on this one guy that she grew up with, And we used to be around the same parties. I mean, I used to go to her family's parties all the time. All the time.
That friend.
Yeah, and
That
he
friend.
was always there, blah, blah, blah. And I never really paid attention to him. I actually really liked his friend. His friend was really cute. And I mean, I wanted to win his heart, but the other guy never paid attention to me. And then he was wanting to buy me a drink years later at a bar. And I was just like, oh, honey, I am married. Like, I was like, you're lost. I hate to say it, but I feel like I violated girl code in some way somehow because of this one day. This one day, I was being a pick-me, okay? I admit it. This one day, we went to this one party, and we were already, like, in our senior year, and somehow this man, like, noticed me. Like, it was, like...
El novio de la chava.
No, they were not together.
Okay,
like,
bueno,
she
that
just
guy.
had... Yeah, like, she had a crush on him, whatever.
Okay.
But, like, I was just, like, being funny. Like, I was being myself because I had known her family for so long. Like, to me,
you were comfortable.
I'm comfortable. Like, I remember that day there was karaoke. Like, I was singing. I was doing this. I was being myself. And some way, somehow, this guy, like, it was, like, out of nowhere, he, like, noticed me. And it opened up his eyes to see the baddie that I was.
Ay, y tú en el karaoke, y él...
No. I don't even know. But like I just remember we would always play like beer pong. We would always play these things. Like it wasn't like something that I did different. I wasn't trying to like show off. I was just being myself. And I guess it one day like it had clicked. And out of nowhere, like he just followed me and then he DM'd me and then we just kind of started talking and then I was just
because you saw it like normal.
Yeah, like I was just like, oh yeah, like this is fine. This is okay. Like, you know, it didn't transgress into anything weird. You get what I mean? And then out of nowhere, like I was just kind of like, oh, like I was like, do I like this person? And I was just like, I don't know, like because I was like, I'm not about to do the same thing that I did with this other girl. Like I was like, this is not me. Like, you know, I have been in this situation before and I don't want to feel like I'm crossing a line. You get what I mean? So like I tried to do the right thing with this girl and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, this guy is texting me and he wants to take me out. He's saying that he likes me and, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I was like, I feel like there may be something I want to explore here. Like, I was like, is this okay? Like, I was like, I know that you've had a crush on him for, like, a really long time. Like, you know, I want to make sure that you're comfortable with this. And I wasn't, like, cornering her. I don't think I was cornering her.
You were being straightforward.
I was being straightforward. Like, I was just, like, and I wasn't asking her, like, in front of him after I had accepted a date. Like, I was just like, no. Like, I'm doing the correct steps, I guess. Because nobody tells you that there's a correct step when it comes to feelings. Feelings are all weird and harsh and just, like, mixed. And
everything is always downfall.
Yes. And
when it involves a guy in a friendship.
Yeah. She was just kind of like, you know what? It's okay. Like, go for it. Try it out. And I was like, okay. Like, I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, like, go for it. Little did I know it wasn't okay. But pretty much, like, I was trying to pursue a relationship with this guy. And after that one day that we saw each other at the party, we never saw each other again. Everything was through text. It was back in the day when everybody was using Snapchat.
I thought you said that he invited you for a date.
He did. Oh. So that's the thing. So pretty much, like, this guy was, like, toying me a little bit. So what would happen was, like, oh, like, I want to take you out on a date, blah, blah, blah. And then I would be like, okay, like, you pick the place. Like a normal, right? You want to take me on a date, you plan it. And he would get really intense. Like, he would be like, no, you pick the place. And then I was like, what do you mean? And then it blew up. We would blow up into these, like, full-on arguments. Over nothing. I don't know. Like, he was a very much of, like, a person.
Machito?
And I don't know. Like, it was super weird. I feel like he was a diva. He really was a diva. And, like, and then out of nowhere, I'd be like, no, I'm so sorry. Like, it was my fault. It was super manipulative and it was super toxic right from the jump. And I remember I was still talking to him. Like, I was really trying to make this work.
At this point, you were still talking to your friend.
Yes, we were hanging out. We were going to lunch. Everything was normal.
She didn't, like, change her, like,
demeanor, nothing. No. I told her, like, hey, like, would you be comfortable, like, talking? Like, because obviously she was basically my best friend. Like, who else was I gonna talk to about everything that's going on, right? So pretty much, like, I remember out of nowhere we were going to lunch, and I had a fight with this guy because, I mean, out of nowhere, like, everything kind of like went 360. He would tell me like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna go out," and then he would cancel on me.
The same day?
Same day. He would cancel on me, or if he would be really flaky, or he would kind of stop answering me, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And he would still tell me that he, like, liked me, you know? It was very manipulative. So I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And I would talk to her, and she'd be like, I don't know, dude, blah, blah, blah. And then she'd be like, let me help you out. Like, maybe I can talk to him, whatever. So they started becoming friends. And I found out that I got it out of her. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, because I know you guys are texting, blah, blah, blah. Has he said anything? And then she, like, spilled it, and she was like, he's trying to take me out. Yeah. Like, this is what sucked. I think for me, like, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, but I mean, obviously, I forgave her because I was not trying to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, I was just like, you know what? Like, I asked him, I was like, straight up, like, I was like, are you talking to her? And he was like, yeah, like, I'm talking to her. And I was like, okay, so you guys like each other, basically. Like, tell me the truth. Like, just don't sugarcoat anything. And he was like, yeah, like, I want to be with her. I was like, okay, slay, go for it. Like, I was like, you guys have my blessing. Like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore, because it turned into a weird trio. Like, I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. That guy is not fucking worth it. Like, I was just like, no. I know myself better, and I'm going to put our friendship over whatever the fuck that is.
What
I have, what is worth so much more to me than what I experienced in, like, 3 weeks with this guy. Like, it's just not worth it.
Bueno, you were very mature.
Yeah, like, I was really trying to do the mature thing, and back then it was already like I had my core friends already, the core friends that I have right now, and I had brought her along because obviously, like, I started hanging out a lot with my core friends, and I was just like, oh hey, like, I was like, let's bring her along because she was my one friend that I was like, she is like my ride or die.
Yes,
like, come on,
she can be part
join
of
us, whatever. Yeah. And obviously, I started bonding with my core friends, and they would be like, you know what, like, I don't know if this is okay, dude. Like, you know, this is weird. And I was like, no, like, she is my friend. Like, I am being supportive. I am doing everything that I can. I held it together for so long, and they held it together with me. Like, they were still inviting her to things. They were still, like...
They were being nice.
They were being nice, exactly. Like, but they just... There was some part of, like, that friendship, like, her with all of them, that something just didn't connect. So,
it's never good to mix friends.
Never okay to mix friends. And I apologize if I try to force it upon anybody. But I just thought, like, I was like, you know what? Like, if this is gonna be something, like, it could be maybe 5 of us instead of just 4 of us. And they were more than welcoming. Yeah, so, like, pretty much, like, from there, like, I was just like, yeah, like, you know, like, we're still gonna hang out. We're still gonna go to lunch. We're still gonna do this. Out of nowhere, like, she just became all about that man. And she started to push all of us away. And she pushed me onto my core friends. And I was just like, oh, so I guess this is how it's gonna be. And yeah, I mean, that's literally, like, how it happened out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere, it fizzles out, and now we don't talk. She has been with that man, I think, for...
they're still together?
They were still together, like, a long time ago. I honestly don't know. I don't keep up.
You don't follow it?
No, I honestly, like, I'm disconnected from her fully. Like, I wish her the best. But it was so weird for me because it took a lot of, like,
energy,
years for me to realize that it was a betrayal, like, in that sense, from...
Because you were like, oh, okay, she went to that man, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I was like, she made her choice. Like, I guess for her, it was like a everything or nothing type of situation, and she decided to go with the man that she loved forever. And I was just like, that's fine. Like, I was like, that's on her. But it took a while for me to be like, oh, that's fucked up. That's a little bit fucked up. Did you ever experience something like that like a betrayal that just shambled you?
Yes, but I was like you, that I didn't know that it was a betrayal until after like a few months. It's a very hardcore one, and like I said, I'm not gonna name any names. But I had this friend. Since we were kids, she was part of the friend group that I told you about my other friend. So basically, we were all really close in that friend group. You were friends with her.
Okay.
Tenías que like go with the flow with everyone because that was part of like the friend group. So, anyways, nothing really happened. She was like part of my inner circle. When I moved here, I broke up with the boyfriend that I had during high school. Entonces, he was like my first love. I loved him very much. Sí, literal, your first love, you're always like super. The world ends if you're not with that person. You know what kind of love.
How long were you guys together?
A year and something.
Oh, so it wasn't like.
No fue de que like 3 months or anything. It was like a year and something. And I was still like very interested in this guy. Even though we didn't talk anymore, I was like super in love with him still.
Yeah. Okay. It hit you hard.
It did so much because it was a lot of transitioning.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was it mainly because of like you being technically kind of isolated over here, trying to build a life while still maintaining your old one? My old one, and also like I would see them like in stories, and I was like, oh, that's him. Yeah. Oh, Dios mío, mi amor, blah 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 blah. I was dumb. I was super dumb. So I cried for a long time for him, and I had contact still with these friends because they moved to the university I was in. Entonces, like, we were still talking. We were doing the same major. No, not major. I think she was part of my minor. Yeah, she was in my minor. But I started college after because I changed my major 3 times. So anyway, she was more advanced. But we still talk, like I'm saying, I was part of that friend group that kind of remained together. It was like it was three of us, 4 of us. Entonces I was like, oh, they're still my friends. I still talk to them, everything. Everything was good.
My mom, it's a very sabia persona. She knows a lot. Moms know a lot. And she once told me, oye, I feel that she's kind of like como jealous of you.
Ojo de loca.
Ojo de loca no se equivoca. My mom was like, oye, pues I don't know. I feel like very weird vibes from her. I was like, no, ma, claro que no. And then she was like, and I reposted a TikTok not long ago about this like girl that everyone loves, but you know that she's not like that. This girl was like that.
She was fake as fuck?
Probably, yeah. And then, so then she stopped talking to me. She wouldn't come to like the parties that I would have at my house. We wouldn't hang out anymore, and it started getting a little bit suspicious because I was like,
what the fuck?
We didn't do anything. We're good. Yeah. We still talk like in the group chat and everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me tell you, when I saw a picture, because this friend that I had and my ex-boyfriend were part of the same friend group. So tell me why mi ojo de loca no se equivocó when I saw a picture of them, like that friend group, and one of them was sitting in one corner and the other one was sitting all the way to the other corner. I was like, they're dating.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, I was like, no. O sea, I just feel it in my bones. They're dating. And then I think I sent them a screenshot to my friends that I was like, are they dating? And nobody said anything. So I was like, see. No, but I was like, okay, this is super weird. I was like, okay, I think they're dating. Anyways, I went to a trip to Ruidoso. I went to Ruidoso with my parents. And I was just like vibing. I was like, okay, I need to forget about him. It's not gonna happen anymore. O sea,
gotta move on.
We were still cool, pero I was like still in love, so we couldn't be cool enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Entonces, I got a text from that friend, diciendo like, I'm sorry, I've been trying to make this text for a long time. I just want to let you know that I'm dating this guy. Pero, o sea, I've been talking to my mom about it. I've been crying a lot about it. And I don't feel like that it's como fair that I don't tell you and that you have to hear it from me. I understand that you still like, not that I still like him, but que teníamos like history and everything. And I just saw like this big ass text.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did she text you the freaking Bible?
The Bible. Yeah, she did. And the worst thing, like, I hate when people do me Biblias. Like,
Sí.
send me a voiceover of 20 minutes. I don't care.
Dead ass.
But pero when it's a text this big, dude, send me a letter. Send me an email.
You know what that says to me? Guilty. That's what that says to me. When you send me like
Exacto, that you're trying to justify yourself. And I understand. So I was in shock. I was like, ¿qué? And then I was crying. I told my mom about it. And she was like, you know what? I told you. And
your mom did not. She said, this is my chance.
Sí, te dije. And I was like, I'm gonna say, Mama. But I was like, okay, no. I don't think I responded to the text ever. So then I was like, I went out with one of my friends, and then she told me like, I'm sorry, it wasn't my place. It wasn't my place to tell you. She wanted to tell you personally. Entonces I was feeling super guilty that I was the one that I knew and I couldn't tell you. And I was like, okay, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Entonces, because I do understand that it's no other person's place to tell the story. But I can imagine.
But they were all hush about it. Like, that's, I think that's the worst part. It feels like everybody's against you.
Sí.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. And then I was like, oh, no, niñas, pues ya me dijo esta chava, like, I don't know what to do. I'm really heartbroken. Pero I was like, oh, it's not her fault. I have to get over him. I started blaming myself. I was like, no, o sea, pues es que I should be over him already. O sea, it has been a long time since we broke up. So I was turning the tortilla to myself, and I was like, I was feeling guilty. Entonces, I don't remember if we ever had the closure. Pero she texted me again and again and through Instagram and everything.
And it just makes you feel like worse.
And then also she told me like the reason that I wasn't going to the reunions is porque me sentía mal, de que to be there and not tell you.
Dude. Like, what the fuck?
I know. I try not to talk about this story that much because it's... La cosa es, I didn't want it to sound ardida. That's the thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because like every time it's gonna be the ex's fault that I'm still the ardida, you know? And I was like, no, okay, it's fine, whatever. Yo era la ex ardida. Because I still liked him and I got mad at her. Entonces estaban de que, oye, pero pues te dijo, o sea, al menos te dijo, tuvo la cara para decírtelo. Y yo, yeah, months after.
Yeah, literally, like, you have a full-blown relationship with this person. It's not like you're just talking.
Y luego, like, she was kind of like asking me for permission. De que,
no, you already did it without permission, sweetie. Like, keep going. Like, just keep going. They hate you because they ain't you.
¿Es eso? You hate me because you hate me?
No, but I mean, I think this kind of circles back into like how we wanna kind of, you know, we're flipping our dynamic a little bit, you know, and we wanted to know, instead of what made you feel underqualified this week, what made you feel underqualified, like, after going through these scenarios, like, about navigating friendship and betrayals.
You go first.
Well, to me, I think what made me feel underqualified was that there was no map. I keep saying that there's no right or wrong way.
There's not a handbook for friendship.
Yeah, and I think female friendships we're all connected so differently, and women they always say that we're more emotional and all that stuff, but I think it wasn't a matter of being driven fully by emotion, but it was because we were also naive. Like, nobody else tells you, like, oh, like, your friendship has literally like a, como se dice, como una fecha que se caduca. Like
an expiration date.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like, oh, these people are gonna be with me the rest of my entire life.
There is no handbook that tells you how to navigate a friendship. First of all, there's no handbook that tells you how to deal with a breakup or with a betrayal, especially with a betrayal. Yeah. And I would say, like, I haven't been the best person or the best friend ever, and I'm really sad about it. Pero that doesn't mean anymore, thank God, that I have confidence that people can do anything with you, or they can, like, treat you the way, o sea, como sea, you know? So, I don't know, it's a lot of mixed feelings about this topic.
It is. It's all about mixed feelings. Yes. That's what it is. It's not just one emotion, because obviously you have all the reflection and the happiness of, like, we went through a lot of stuff together, we partied together, we had all of these things, but at the same time, it's like this one really heavy thing made everything crumble. Exactly. And it sucks.
And you lose, like, everything, your whole world, because of a friend.
Have you guys ever feel underqualified to navigate a friendship or a friendship breakup or a betrayal? Comment down below. We want to know.
And yeah, just thank you for all the support.
60 of you guys. I love you. If I could kiss every single one of you in the forehead.
No, we love all the support. I hope you guys are liking our videos. If you have, like, anything, like a topic that you would like us to concentrate, to talk about, let us know in the comments. And I just have one last question for you before we end the pod. For the $1 million, would you reconnect with the people that betrayed you and that you broke up with them?